Hello, everyone. Sen will have some problems with Wi-Fi today, so let's wait for more people to join, and we will begin. Okay?
Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming. Yeah, I'm on mobile data at the moment, so I might cut in and out, but I'll do my best.
Um, as you guys see, we just posted that last week we have 44 matches, and this week we have 58. I think that is a
Woohoo!
good number.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And that's through a lot of hard work from Tanya, Rebecca, and the rest of their team.
Yay! We can.
Hey, welcome. Good, how are you?
Good, doing fine. It's great to see you. Okay, thanks so much.
Great to hear you.
It's okay, it's okay. It's okay, guys.
Um, we were just saying we have 58 now matches, and we're starting to get in feedback from people, which is amazing.
Wow, that's great. I see. Maybe we have some students here. No? Or teachers? Or just mentors?
Well, we have my sister here. She actually had her first lesson on Friday. I will see if she want to share with us.
Wow. Hola, Anastasia.
Rebecca, I think you've done some lessons this week. How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been really cool actually because my student he is an A1. So basically, as you know, we're trying like to this is a student driven project. So we're trying to accommodate to our students' needs. So in my case, my student wants to improve on his English skills because he wants to read the Bible fluently. So we are doing that. We found interlinear version in Ukrainian English that we can understand. Unfortunately, my Ukrainian is not so good as of now as I would like it to be. I know how to say like я трошки розмовляю українською. Like I speak Ukrainian a little bit, but that's it. And we are using Google Translate. So we are working with him, reading the Bible as he wants, but also checking with him some basic grammar structures like verb to be. So we work actually completing a table and he has like small task like to write a small introduction. I gave him an example about him and his characteristics like my name is I am this years old, this kind of thing. So let's look at our next lesson next week to see how it goes.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool that you can tailor everything to him as well because it's one-on-one. I think that's something that people really enjoy, and they often prefer learning one-on-one because they don't feel as afraid to make mistakes and to ask questions. Did you have some of my students this week as well?
Yes, I had Marina that cakes. So I was like speaking with her, basically with her. What we are doing, what we did last week was read a book of her choice. Her English level is much more advanced. So basically, like reread a paragraph of the book. I check some pronunciation mistakes, and basically we moved to Merriam's Webster dictionary like online because it offers like not only the transcription, the IPA transcription, but also pronunciation of the word. So I have like a strong accent, so I think it's best for her like to listen to native accent. So we are also defining some of the words that she finds and she does not understand, but her English level is really good. And what we did yesterday, she didn't feel so much like reading. She wanted like to discuss. So I was like telling her like in more detail about my job and the experiences that I have had meeting Ukrainian colleagues. So it was interesting for her, I hope, and she told me that this week apparently she would be busy, but of course if she's free, she will ping me and we can resume our conversation or read whatever she likes.
That's cool. That's cool. Hey, Soup, welcome. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear like the beginning. But hey, I'm Anastasia. I had my first lesson on Friday with my student, and it was really cool. I have an A1 student, and I asked her in the beginning, "Hey, do you want to talk or do you want to do grammar first?" And we talked first a little bit. She said she was pretty anxious about stuff, and I was like, "Okay, like don't worry, like it's just it's all about making mistakes in the beginning. Like that's just how you learn." So even though like we went through the first chapter, the welcome chapter, and she was doing really good. She made mistakes at first with the to be form at first, but she was really good in the end. She fixed her mistakes, and she was already doing properly with the exercise. And I sent her the lesson we did empty and filled in. I know we probably don't have more lessons that I could send her at this point, but she has been making notes as we go. And just generally, after we went through the lesson, I was using the icebreaker um, questions in the end of the chapter to just kind of like talk about hobbies and just like generally about favorite seasons. We talked about going to the gym or just like generally I was trying to teach her words that she would um, know those specific topics, like for example building muscle or like doing cardio or just like sportswear. So it was kind of like interesting, and she said that after the lesson she was very inspired to start learning again. And I think she said that she redid some of the tests and she finished it with 95%. So I'm not sure, she probably did the one that you do before you go get paired. Maybe that's what she did. And we have our next lesson on Tuesday. I'm going to go through the lessons that Tanya sent me, um, and I think we're going to go from there. Just generally, what it will be helpful for A1 students is probably like if we could compile a list of phrases that a teacher would use, like for example, let's repeat this, or what does spelling mean? Because I tried to do the exercise with my student when we were trying to um, I was trying to teach her like, hey, like if you were asked to spell your name, this is how you do it. And she probably didn't know what spell mean. So I was doing my best not to uh, switch to Ukrainian. I did switch only like a couple times if she wanted to know the meaning of a specific word, but she spoke English most of the time, especially by the end of it, she was not as anxious. So I
That's
did
really
compile
cool.
some of the phrases and I sent them to Mark probably yesterday. But definitely as we go with other students, I'm going to take notes of what are the phrases that I use during the lesson so that they could um, learn them, and as well as just going to make the lesson to go easier.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that having those phrases available will be a really good way, good thing to send to the students before they even start a lesson. So we can compile it in their sort of introduction material. But I think that's a really good idea from you and Mark, well, from you via Mark, that he brought that up in the chat as well, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Um, Nice to see Quignal here. Can I just ask one more question before you go away? So I know that you speak Ukrainian, and you said you tried to restrain yourself from speaking in Ukrainian. Um, can we just talk a little bit about, because what I've noticed is that I use the translator. I used to use it a lot, and now I use it less because I try to explain a word rather than simply jump straight to the translator. Do you have any tips about how to? Okay, and I know that, for example, Mark's a very experienced teacher, and he almost never uses a translator. He just finds a way to explain the word. Um, do you have any tips for people who are trying to explain something that they don't understand without using the translator? Because ideally, then the whole session is in English. But of course, there's no point trying to ask a student to do something if they don't understand. So I think as well as having those phrases, do you have any other tips for English to explain something?
Yeah, I agree that you have to make sure that you explain it in English, but if your student's level is so low that they can't understand the meaning of it as well, as you also said in your introductory video, that you can go to the vocabulary.com and you can learn the words, but if your student doesn't understand the meaning of the word, well, it's not very useful. So what I would do is that when I would try to explain what spelling mean, I would just say, okay, let's just pronounce each letter separately, and then I would just try and explain it on her name. They're like, okay, so spelling means is when I take your name, for example, Anna, A, and this is how you have to do with your name. So I was trying to explain it this way. The only way that I would switch it would be if I were to explain just when we were talking about stuff and she was trying to say something and I would translate it to her like specific separate words versus like a whole phrase. So she would
Yeah.
construct the sentence herself, and what would happen during the lesson is that she would look up words, which I think is good because it means that they're going out of the way to look up the word and learn it and also like take a note. So it's just also the learning process.
And it becomes one of their words that they remember that, this is their new word because they've got a list of new words from the session. Yeah. Another thing that I do is I answer the question myself first. So this is how I spell my name, Sandri. How do you spell yours? And that makes it a little bit easier without them feeling like they have to, like if they weren't able to do it straight away, then you do the same thing, then they can just click it. Oh, that's what she wants me to do. I found that quite a useful tip as well. Hi, Andy. Andy's here. If you're welcome to request to speak if you'd like, Andy. Oh no, he's gone. Quidmore, how are you? How's Lviv?
Beautiful. I love Lviv. It's beautiful. Very vibrant city. Probably like the first time I've ever been able to experience something outside of the States. So it's quite lovely, though.
That's amazing. What are your favorite places so far that you've been to?
Oh, I haven't been around much because I've mostly been doing the volunteering at the kitchen. So my apartment is like a 5-minute walk. But I'm like right in the city center, so I'm right next to like City Hall. Um, there's tons of restaurants, but the architecture is so beautiful. I think maybe tomorrow, because the volunteering hours are a little bit shorter since it's Sunday, I think tomorrow might be like my tourist day.
That's awesome. What's the tastiest thing you've eaten?
Oh my gosh. The other night we were at a Georgian restaurant, so had the khachapuri. Tonight I finally got borscht, and I wish Val was here because it was with beans. So I know a couple weeks ago he was saying you must have beans in borscht. So surprised to have that. But everything's delicious. The food is so good.
I want to go on a borscht tour one day.
Right?
Try it in each region.
So one of the volunteers that I'm with, he's French. But he's French by way of like 15 different. He's very well traveled. But what he said to me is there is as many borscht recipes as there are Ukrainians. I thought that was pretty funny. There's just so many variations.
Yeah,
this is actually a really cool video on YouTube about borscht made by Yevgen Klopotenko about borscht from different regions. So it's really cool. I will find it and put it in the comments for you guys.
this might be a good chance to update about where things are with the lesson plans, because I know everyone who's started has their first welcome letter. And also, by the way, if anyone's listening and they haven't received emails from us or instructions from us, please just get in touch with us or check your spam folder, because we know that some messages aren't getting through, and we're working on ways to fix that. But if you need further lessons, further materials, just reach out, because we're working on putting everything into a folder so that you'll have a shared folder so that you'll be able to access everything. But at the moment, we're doing it, 1 week at a time. So I can send you, Soup, I can send you the next couple of lessons after this. But basically, the first thing we want you to establish with your student is how they want to proceed. Do they want to just have a set of speaking topics that you guys talk about for 40 minutes? Or do they want to go through grammar exercises with you? Or do they want to do the preparation work before the lesson so they can look up the grammar rule and vocabulary about the topic so that they can maximize the speaking time? Personally, I think that's the best approach, but it depends on how much time your student has. And it means that you're, as the mentor, you're free to just be talking at the lesson rather than trying to explain grammar. So that's how we're approaching this. And there is going to be a chart as well that you can tick off. So there'll be 10 topics at each level, which you can mark as complete for your student, as well as the vocabulary lists and the grammar exercises. Is anyone here who's a mentor? Anyone here who's a student who wants to speak? Just so you know, Tatiana has helpfully been voluntold by me to be the translator. So if you want to speak in Ukrainian, you can always do that as well, because we'd love to hear from the students. Just let us know if you want to be invited to be a speaker. Anyone else want to chat? Aliona's here listening. Rebecca, do you have any news about the verification side of things? Or comments, thoughts?
Hey, Arthur. Arthur was really helpful for me this week. He actually took 2 more students, and maybe he wants to share something with us as well.
Oh, please. Yeah, that would be great. Please do.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Yeah, I have not had a lesson yet, so I can't really report on how that's been going. I've been familiarizing myself with PDFs and exchanging with the students, but we haven't managed to set an appointment, a session yet. So I don't have much to say, but yeah, I find the community is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's our Telegram chats are my favorite place on the internet. It's really cool. Arta, how did you learn about the project? Was that because you were a friend of Tanya's, or did you hear about us from somewhere else?
Well, I heard from Tanya. I heard there was an interest in help, and yes, to have some time to volunteer. So I'm happy to help.
It's really great to have you. Yeah, we're trying to get people to invite more of their friends and family to get involved in the project, and trying to come up with ways to reward them somehow for getting the most recommendations of people. If anyone has any ideas, at the moment I've got nothing.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think I have any current fluent English-speaking friend in my real life entourage. So there isn't anyone I can recommend it to, but I'm keeping it in mind.
Yeah, a lot of my friends who would be involved in this project are not in real life friends; they're online friends. It is the way it goes sometimes.
On this regard, I received comments from Mark and from Christian that they are promoting the project with some of the friends. So maybe we can see something coming from that direction, depending on how it goes. So maybe there will be more of us in the near future, more mentors. And yeah, and I just wanted to say that my student just texted me and shared with me some beautiful bandura music. It's really beautiful. Now he's asking like, what is the traditional instrument in Mexico? So I need to find like some videos to exchange. Maybe we can
That's so
start
cool.
discussing about music in our next lesson.
I think we need to start when we have things built in the website. We need to start lots of clubs, like book clubs, music clubs, paddle clubs.
Yes, it would be great. Like for
Yeah.
example, this about Ukrainian cuisine. Kiknur, have you seen a bandura now that you are in Lviv?
Have I seen what? I'm sorry.
A bandura, this musical instrument. Have you seen it? I understand this a traditional Ukrainian instrument.
What does it look like?
It looks like it's like a harp, but it's to me in my not trained eye, it looks like a mix between a big guitar and a harp. I don't know how to put it. I will send a picture.
Yes. No. They play it on like the streets. So like where I'm at
Oh my
in
God.
Lviv is like
Really?
very touristy. So there's like guys who like on the corner and they put the case out so you can like put money in there. But yeah, they'll be playing and singing. It's really cool.
Wow.
Also like traditional guitars. So there's like, you know, the people have like a guitar and they have this little amplifier that's all battery powered, and they'll be playing and singing and people singing along. It's really cool.
Wow.
Like, no, we need photos in the chat or it's not real. Otherwise you could just be
I don't know if I take a photo of the singers, but oh no, I have a guy doing I posted it in Telegram, the guy who's doing
oh yeah, I saw that.
Depeche Mode. I'll post it in the Twitter.
Why don't we have like some place maybe in the site, like to put pictures of this kind of things? I guess it would be pretty cool for everyone to see it, to look at.
Yeah. What other sorts of clubs should we have? Because I was thinking of a book club and a film club. One of my students is very keen film watcher, and she knows lots of different art house movies, and we spent an hour talking about it once. So I thought we should make a film club where you decide on a film to discuss a week later, and everyone has a week to watch it or whatever.
Yes, or maybe we can watch it together. I mean, we can pick up a time, and those who can join can watch it together.
Yeah. And then
maybe
the same with
books, music, cuisine, films. Those are I think like the most common hobbies.
Pictures of your dogs. Yeah.
Things
that get people talking.
Pictures of your dogs, pictures of outside your window, pictures of your coffee mug. So it would be interesting for everyone to see, I think.
We've also
by the way, guys, for the bandura, I just put the tweet in the nest where Marina Krut, she's playing bandura with one of the combat medics, Cheka.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will put a video that I found. It's like a full, I don't know how to say properly, ensemble, or because it's not choir, or a full orchestra of banduras, and it's really, really beautiful. Apparently, they are members from the Ukrainian forces. So let me find this video, and I can put it there as well.
Another instrument I saw is like, I think it's about 6 meters long. Tanya, can you remind me what it's called? It's like a little bit like a trombita, that's right, yeah. And it's this very big sound that was used, I think, to communicate with people a long way away. But it was a very cool instrument as well.
Yeah, trombita, it's very popular in the West Ukraine, where we have mountains. And actually, we have Ukrainian band Kaska. They did awesome like song. I think during Eurovision they had it. It was really cool. I will try to find the video as well.
Thank you. We're giving you lots of work, Tanya.
Okay.
Also, like for the movies and stuff, we can use, like, you know how on Netflix they have the watch parties as well. There is Ukrainian streaming platform Takflix where you can do the same thing, and it's like Ukrainian with English subtitles.
Wow, that's cool.
Not to get off topic, but back onto topic. A lot of the volunteers, I'm in like a huge volunteer WhatsApp now. They invited me. A lot of these people are not on Twitter. I think I'm going to be able to promote us, but it's just something, you know, I'm kind of in the Twitter sphere. And then just meeting all these new people, I've realized, like, because Twitter can at times be crap, just finding ways to get people outside of Twitter, I think is good. I can promote it to a good number of people who seemed interested. In the last couple of days, I've been kind of shopping our calls around. But like you guys were saying earlier, like we need to find different ways to kind of expand outside of our own echo chamber, so to speak. Because the way Twitter works with the algorithms, you're really only seeing people that you interact with. So at a certain point, everything you're trying to promote kind of gets stuck inside of a bubble.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we have different accounts and different social medias, and I encourage people all the time that to use the one that they're more familiar with. And I'm trying to update our Twitter and our Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads. And also, I'm planning to upload our Twitter spaces on the podcast platform to keep people updated as well, and probably on YouTube as well. So we just need to be present in the different platforms at this point.
Yeah. We're planning to start a working group of basically content creators for different channels, and so if anyone has any ideas about things that they think would be a helpful way to encourage more mentors to sign up, especially on platforms like YouTube, would love to hear any ideas people have.
I think maybe we could create some video. I know that some mentors, students are willing like to do a small presentation introduction, speak about the project. Maybe this could motivate others. Because, for example, in some language schools, they do this. Like this is our student. He had an A1 level and now he has A2 level, something like that. It hasn't to be so formal, but just like to see the testimonials of the people who are part of the project, or maybe pictures. I don't know.
Well, it is a good suggestion. Like before, when we just started, I was posting like different quotes from the people's forums about why they want to do it, and I was posting it across, like cross-posting on different platforms as well. And but as I feel like with our project, what brought us a lot of Ukrainians who's interested in the program, it's just sharing by the influencers. Like in our case, it was Ukrainian journalist on Instagram. We just need to get more mentors. We just need to find these influencers who can bring in their audience.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that's going to help though is because until we can be recognized and people will have stories to tell, we're just a group of people asking people to do something for free. So until we get, more people doing lessons, I think that's going to be one of the biggest ways to push this idea, is people saying, hey, I'm doing lessons with these people, and it's really cool and it's really easy, and this is where you sign up. Because then they're hearing about us from someone they know, and they're hearing about us from people who've already tried out what we're trying to do, and it's not just some random person in New Zealand who sent a tweet out. If anyone else wants to be invited to be a speaker or to ask to speak, we'd love to hear from you. It looks like we might have some students in the chat, so just sorry I keep repeating myself, but new people are coming in, so we have a translator available if you'd rather speak in Ukrainian.
Oh, for Trimbita, by the way, I put one of the tweets from Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, where one of our defenders played on Trimbita.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Quignal, have you had any lessons while you've been in Lviv, or have you had to postpone them while you're volunteering?
No, I'm loyal to Balakun. I put it in Telegram, I think, but the time change was a little bit weird. My main student, he's in the Marines, so he was used to having the 5 o'clock meeting, whereas in the States it was 10 o'clock. So it was kind of like, I could stay up a little bit later. But I promised him, I'm like, we'll keep the schedule. So I've had 2 meetings already. I've had to wake up at 5 in the morning to do my 2 lessons, and we'll continue throughout next week. And then, unfortunately, she can't be here. I had a lesson with Dead Cake last night after she had a meeting with Rebecca, so that was kind of funny.
She's really playing the field. It's great.
I know.
Yes. Oh my god! I was like, oh my god, because she said like, I've overbooked this week. I'm so sorry. When she had a meeting with me, like I thought I had booked you another time, and I was like, oh my god, how many lessons are you having per week? But she just wants to speak to everyone, and it's really really cool.
She's actually my spy. She's checking what you guys are all doing. No,
oh my god, ignore. We're doomed.
No.
Okay.
She's just extremely driven to learn, which is wonderful. And normally, with the time difference for us, I can only teach her on weekends because she's at work all day, which is my normal teaching time, which is after work for me. So her and one of my other students, I can only really speak to them on the weekends or before they start work, which isn't really feasible most days. So it's really good that she's getting to meet different people, and also I think it's good to hear different voices as well, because otherwise she'll get very comfortable with hearing me speak and listening to me and understanding me, but then she'll meet someone with an American accent and might not be quite the same. I don't know if she's found any Australians. She's been looking for an Australian. Still doesn't hear the difference between New Zealand accents and an Australian accent, which most people don't anyway.
I for the life of me cannot. I'm so sorry, Sam, but I cannot.
It's a big difference to us.
Oh my god. Yeah. I hope my accent is not so hard for you guys.
Not at all. I love your accent. It's interesting though. People are so worried about that. Like, often I will get students say, "Is my accent really bad?" I'm like, what do you mean bad? It's your accent. It's like, it's not good or bad. It's just an accent. But I think people feel like they should sound a certain way in English, and it's not true because there's so many different accents out there.
The important thing is just to get the message through. That's what I think.
Exactly.
In every language.
And people talk about language blocks, and you probably know about this as well, Rebecca. And there's things that stop you from being fluent, and one of those things is, firstly, not having the vocabulary, not knowing how to use the vocabulary, and then being afraid of how you sound. And those are but the students can learn vocabulary on their own. They can learn how to put sentences together on their own. What they can't do on their own is feel comfortable with the way that they sound. And that's what we need to make one of our biggest focuses, is just making them comfortable with getting their voice heard, which is the whole reason we're doing this. So,
Yes.
any other cool stories from lessons? Nothing private, obviously.
I will say just probably only one story that I have right now, that because my mom and my grandma is in my house right now. So my mom is probably A1, maybe lower than A1, but her teacher is my daughter. So they try to communicate in English, and it's adorable. Sometimes my mom is speaking to my husband as well, and we helping her to build the sentences correctly. And I think she like it's what is ESL about. Like when you are in the environment when everybody speak English, you just don't have any choice. You just have to communicate.
Yeah. So, do you have a strict English only policy at your house, or is it
No,
only when their lessons are happening?
no, I don't have any scripts, but
Yeah.
also I wish my husband starts learning a little bit Ukrainian. It will help.
Yeah. Even a few words would be nice.
I think my 83 years old grandma knows more in English than my husband.
Yeah.
I think that many of the mentors, if I'm looking at the Telegram chat, are starting to ask like, how do you say this in Ukrainian? I'm learning Ukrainian. Have you ever used this app to learn Ukrainian? I think that we should start doing it.
Yeah.
I actually went to vote today. Like we have the election in Louisiana, and they're like, "Oh, so where are you from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Ukraine." And the lady telling me "Spasiba," and I like, "It's not Ukrainian language; it's Russian actually." She's like, "Really?" Like, "Yes, it is." And she's like, "How do you say it in Ukrainian?" And like, I told her like, "You say дякую." She's like, "Oh, okay, "Spasiba." And I'm like, "Okay, bye."
I understand.
I have to say, my first night here, I got in some trouble. I went to like this Irish pub, and I walked in, and my pronunciation is terrible. I wanted to say privet, but I said privet, and the guy was like, "That is Russian. We don't say that. You say dobry večer." I was like, "Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm ja turista, ja amerikanski turista."
Я туристу.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It,
I found I'm on the flip side of it right now. So like the kitchen, like there's only like one lady who can kind of speak English. So like on the flip side of it, like I can see how hard it is like to communicate when you just don't know. And it can be intimidating. But yeah.
I think there are some phrases I need to learn, like maybe someone can volunteer to teach us right now. Please repeat slowly. I think that would be very helpful for me. Please repeat slowly, or something
You want
similar.
me to translate it to Ukrainian?
Yes, please. We can all learn it together now.
Well, you can say, будь ласка, говоріть повільніше.
Again, slowly.
Будь ласка, that it means please. Говоріть, speak. Повільніше, slowly.
I need to see it written down. See, people learn in different ways. I have to have things written down. I'm not very good at just picking things up from listening. But yeah, you can see how difficult it is.
Будь ласка, говоріть.
Говоріть.
Будь ласка, говоріть повільніше.
You did great.
Thank you. Can you write it for us?
Yeah, I will put it in comment.
Thank you. So будь ласка is please, but also is thank you. Is the same?
Yeah, I think so.
It is the same, yes.
Okay.
Будь ласка, говори. What's the last bit, Rebecca?
Or is it more close to you're
Будь ласка.
welcome?
Ага.
Because I would say like дуже дякую and then будь ласка. So at least in my experience, it feels more like you're welcome. Maybe I'm out of place.
Yeah, you can
I guess
use
so.
будь ласка in
Yeah,
different
yeah.
ways. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was
Okay.
like putting a comment. I was
Thank
I
you
was
so much.
reading it
Будь ласка.
in
Будь
Ukrainian.
ласка.
Будь ласка.
Yeah, будь ласка. Okay. What other phrase can we learn, guys?
Я не розумію. I don't understand.
Я не
I don't know if that's
розумію.
helpful. Or yeah, я не
That's very
розумію.
useful. Yeah, that's going to be very useful.
Що по-русні?
Русні пизда.
So, Bosch, будь ласка. Bosch, please. Does that work?
Okay.
No, what Arthur just asked, he asked in Ukrainian, what's up with the Russians? And I told him that they're fucked. So русні пизда.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be an important one to learn.
Okay.
I hope that any students listening to this chat realize that we understand your pain. We're trying to understand a different language.
We feel you, as they say. We feel you.
We feel you. We feel you.
Yeah, actually, this phrase, like "русні пизда," it's a phrase by Taras Chmut on Frontova Poplava, and right now it's like the phrase that everybody knows. They made memes with that. They actually, I think the first year of Poplava, like Twitter space, they were always ending in that, like they were asking him, "What's up with the Russians?" and he was saying the "русні пизда." So it's one of the phrases that it started with a war.
Oh.
We should probably translate our tagline, join the conversation. Is there a common phrase in Ukrainian that means the same?
I will say долучайтеся до розмови. So conversation, it's розмова. Долучайтеся до розмови.
Okay. Let's write that down.
Question for you for Ukrainian. So as I was crossing the border, I was like freaking out because the border guards were like coming to talk to everybody on the train, and I was like on Google Translate, like panicking, and I was like, "Я погано розмовляю українську," which Google said was I don't understand Ukrainian well, but would that be accurate?
Yeah, you said it accurate. Yep.
Okay,
I'm
well, good.
usually like myself. I usually use DeepL for translation because they give a more accurate translation to English and vice versa.
Is that an app or a website?
It's an app, DeepL.
Depot. Can you send that if you want on
Yeah.
the side privately if you want?
No, I
it might be
can
more helpful.
comment it right now. Like, yeah, for
Okay.
translations, I really enjoyed this app better than Google.
Thank you. Дуже
Дякую.
дякую.
Дуже дякую.
Yeah. Так,
The
дуже дякую.
only thing I found with DeepL, Tanya, was that it doesn't, unless I'm using it wrong, there isn't a speech button, so you can't have it say it to you. You just have it written down. Or am I using it wrong?
I never tried it that way.
Yeah, you probably never needed to. But with Google, I spend a lot of time listening to the Google Translate lady, which I find helpful. But maybe you could do the translation in DeepL to get the text, and then put it into Google to hear it spoken.
My pronunciation, maybe I'm on an island here, but like my pronunciation is okay. I'm sure the Ukrainians will be like, "What the fuck is this guy saying?" But like for me with Google, as long as it's somewhat accurate, if I can read it, I can say it. But then somebody says something back to me, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying.
Mhm.
I guess if they hear me say it, they're like, "Oh, this he knows what it is." It's like, no, I just read it. I just read it.
Maybe from what Kignor is saying, we can ask like, what is the Ukrainian expression to say? How do you say this? How do you say this in Ukrainian? If someone from
I'm
Ukraine.
thinking because it can be different ways. I will try
Okay.
to find the easiest
When
one.
when I was having cooking, Alexander and I would do cooking lessons together, and so he'd say in Ukrainian. So I'd say we're chopping the mushrooms, and then he'd say in Ukrainian it's blah blah blah. So it was something like I don't, but it was fun. It was a fun way to have a lesson actually. If anyone has ideas about alternate ways of learning, cooking together was really fun. Because I got to learn lots of cool words about food, and just learning about everyday things that wouldn't come up normally in a lesson, like the difference between chop and dice, and, all these little things that you'd never think of putting in a lesson.
I've learned lots of veggie. Sorry, Rebecca, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Short comment. I was going to say I've learned lots of names for vegetables over these last couple of days. That's all
Wow.
we're doing the cooking. And the ladies will be like telling us to move boxes and sacks of stuff like kartoplia tut, like point like demashina. Small words here and there, but mostly just vegetables.
I have listened to Jak Kasati. Is this correct?
Yeah, you can say that, or you can say як це сказати українською. But if you will say як це сказати, people will understand you.
So I need, for example, if I say Jak Kasati, I need to point at the object or at the word, no?
If you want to do that, I will just use a simpler phrase like shotse.
Okay, shotse.
And then they can tell you what is how it's named in Ukrainian.
Shotse is what is this, right?
Yeah. Yep. Like I have like this week, my mom was pointing out on salary and asking like how you say it in English. But the thing is that salary in English and salera in Ukrainian pretty much the same word. So it's a lot of different vegetables, a lot of different names of the things are similar to English.
Wow.
Sorry guys, my Wi-Fi's cut out again. I probably won't be on and off for the rest of the session.
Yeah,
since there was the cyclone.
We are on almost for an hour, so we can wrap it up for this week if you guys want.
Yeah, it's like no students.
I wish I had more things to talk about, but yeah, since I haven't been able to tutor yet, the only experience I could report from is trying to get in touch with students by email and scheduling an appointment, which is not always easy.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then, because we had like a 2-hour session last week, and next week hopefully we'll have more students in the chat in the space. Thanks so much everyone for being here. It's great to hear from you, and thank you so much for everyone who's putting in the work with the verification and the matching and everything behind the scenes. There is a lot going on. I know for people waiting for matches, it might not seem that way, but there are so many things going on behind the scenes, and getting to 58 matches is a huge achievement, because at every step, you lose people from registration to verification to. But the fact that we've got 58, I think, is a huge achievement that we should celebrate. And let's hope on even more next week, and just keep in mind different channels that you can reach out to, different groups or circles, and just use that link tree a lot, because then people can find whichever platform they.
I stopped hearing Sandy.
Yes, probably something happened with her Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I was trying to say that like the link tree is a really useful tool because it has all the links to different platforms, and if people not on Twitter, they may be like Instagram, maybe they like Facebook, I don't know. So it's a pretty good way to share it, where people can like see updates and what we're looking for, what we're doing right now, and things like that.
That's right.
And yeah, and for everybody who doesn't know where to find it, it's in our profile. Like if you click on Balakun, you will see that it's in a profile under the links. We have our link tree over there. I think we will be wrapping up then. Thank you everybody for coming today, and I hope that next week we will have more. We will have more mentors and students to share their experience with us. Thank you all.
Дуже дякую.
Дякую.
Bye.
До
Дякую.
побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.